So in light of Robo taking out Nylander, Chief banning music at practice, Matthews leaving practice early, it feels like a good time to discuss the Leafs and why I believe they are totally, absolutely, completely fucked as an organization and where I believe it all stems from. So the problem with playing hockey for the Leafs, and more so getting drafted by the Leafs, is there's no winning culture there, and there never really has been, right? At least in the 2000s era, they've never really won shit. There's never really been guys there that have won shit, so they've just kind of been this team that is known for not winning. So when you're a team and you're known universally for not winning, what you need to do, in my opinion, is you need to draft players and bring players in that are going to create a brand new culture. It's awesome to get superstars on your team, doing flashy stuff, breaking titles. But if you're not winning and you still have all of these superstars, there's an issue, right? And I think the issue is this core four and all of the superstars that are on Toronto as individuals are amazing players. Matthews, amazing. Marner, amazing. Morgan Riley, I love. Nylander, as slick as they come. But it feels to me, together, having these guys being the dudes responsible for leading this team and building a new culture, it kind of seems like they've failed at that. And honestly, it's not even their fault because there was nobody really there to teach them how to be a pro, how to be winners. And so if you take this and then you look at teams like Boston and Florida and Vegas and Tampa and Pittsburgh, these organizations where winning is embedded into the culture, and they just have an aura that's much more serious than the Leafs. Well, it's not because the core players on those other clubs are better than the core players that Toronto has. It's because those clubs have stronger cultures with winning embedded. And if it wasn't the core players who are playing for those clubs today who created it, it was the players before them. And that's who they learned from. So everybody who gets drafted there or traded there, they're led and assimilated into that winning culture because of the leadership group, the core members of the club, and they win. They play better hockey. They become better hockey players. Why? Because that's the fucking standard with those organizations. And I just don't think that the core members in Toronto have built that same expectation. I think that when you put on a Boston jersey or a Florida jersey or a Vegas jersey or a Tampa jersey, versus putting on a Toronto jersey, I think it's much more lackadaisical when you're representing Toronto versus representing these other organizations because of the leadership group, because of what's expected of you. It's the fucking standard. And this whole thing's very ironic because I actually think Toronto's roster from top to bottom is one of the best in the league. But I just can't take them seriously as a playoff competitor because I don't think they themselves take winning seriously. And that's why I'm so curious about this year, because the real test is happening right now with Berube running the show, because he's won. All he seems to give a shit about is winning. So if the Leafs have any shot at doing anything with this current group right now, it's him. And if they can't do anything in playoffs with this guy, they've got no option but to break this whole thing the fuck up. And look, again, I don't want this to seem like I'm shitting on the Leafs because I actually like them as a hockey team, and I like all of the players on their team. Matthew Knies, John Tavares, Max Domi. These are all players I respect and like. But when you put it all together in that Toronto uniform, it just doesn't seem to fucking work. And it's obviously not a skill issue, so it's a culture issue. Now, maybe Berube can be the guy to actually change that culture. Maybe him and Matthews are going to be having discussions all year, and maybe the aura is going to shift with the Leafs. I hope it fucking happens. I would love to see that. I just haven't seen anything to make me believe that yet. And again, guys, just to preface this, I'm just a guy on a microphone here, okay? I don't know these guys. I've never been in the room. I could be completely fucking wrong with this opinion, but it is my opinion. And it is a fact that the Leafs have and have had some of the best superstars on their teams for some time now, and they can't do shit in the playoffs. They can't make a fucking run, and that's a goddamn issue, boys. So best of luck to Toronto this year. I hope they win. I hope they make it happen. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be rooting for them. Until next time, fellas.